Have you ever made a decision in a split second and later wondered why? Or struggled with a choice for days, only to end up regretting it? What if I told you that your brain has two very different systems for thinking, one fast and intuitive, the other slow and deliberate? This is exactly what Nobel Prize-winning psychologist Daniel Kahneman explores in his groundbreaking book Thinking, Fast and Slow. In today's video, we'll break down the key ideas from this book and help you understand how your mind really works. Let's dive in. Chapter 1, The Two Systems. So, what exactly are these two systems? Kahneman describes our thinking process as divided into System 1 and System 2. System 1 is fast, automatic, emotional, and unconscious. It's what helps you recognize a face instantly or dodge a ball without thinking. System 2 is slow, deliberate, effortful, and logical. It's what you use when solving a math problem or making a difficult decision. Example, imagine you see a friend walking toward you. Instantly, you recognize them, remember their name, and perhaps recall a recent conversation. That's System 1. But if I ask you to multiply 17 by 24 in your head, you'll need to engage System 2. The problem is, our brains tend to rely on System 1 more often than we realize, leading to mistakes and biases. Let's explore why. Chapter 2, Cognitive Biases and Heuristics. One of the biggest takeaways from Kahneman's research is that our brains take shortcuts, what psychologists call heuristics. But these shortcuts often lead to errors, called cognitive biases. Let's look at a few important ones. The availability heuristic: we judge how likely something is based on how easily we can recall examples. That's why people overestimate the danger of plane crashes but underestimate the risk of heart disease. The anchoring effect: we rely too heavily on the first piece of information we get. If a car is originally priced at $50,000 and then discounted to $40,000, it feels like a great deal, even if the car is actually worth $35,000. Loss aversion: we hate losing more than we love winning. Studies show that losing $100 feels worse than winning $100 feels good. This explains why people hold on to losing investments for too long. Chapter 3, Overconfidence and the Illusion of Understanding. Kahneman reveals that people are naturally overconfident in their knowledge and predictions. We tend to believe we understand the world more than we actually do. Example, think about stock market predictions. Even expert investors often get it wrong, but they remain confident in their choices. That's because of hindsight bias. We look back and convince ourselves we knew it all along. So how do we combat overconfidence? By learning to think statistically and question our own assumptions. Chapter 4, Prospect Theory and Risk-Taking. Why do people take big risks in some cases but play it safe in others? Kahneman's prospect theory explains how we evaluate gains and losses. We are risk-averse when dealing with gains. We prefer a guaranteed $500 over a 50% chance to win $1,000. But we become risk-seeking when facing losses. We'd rather gamble losing $1,000 than accept a guaranteed loss of $500. Example, this is why casinos and lotteries thrive. They exploit our tendency to avoid guaranteed losses and chase unlikely wins. Chapter 5, How to Think Better. Now that we know our brains can trick us, how can we improve our decision-making? Here are some practical tips. Slow down. Engage System 2 more often by questioning your initial gut reactions. Seek data. Rely on statistics rather than intuition when making important decisions. Consider the opposite. Actively challenge your assumptions to reduce bias. Use premortems. Before making a decision, imagine that it has failed and ask why. This can help you spot potential flaws in your thinking. Conclusion. So, what did we learn today? Your mind has two systems, one fast and instinctive, one slow and rational. While System 1 helps us in everyday life, it also leads to cognitive biases that can cloud our judgment. By understanding these biases, we can make better decisions, avoid common mistakes, and think more clearly. If you found this breakdown of thinking, fast and slow, insightful, make sure to like and subscribe for more psychology book summaries. What's a decision